Hello lovelies, so I'm finally getting around to making a blue Tang hat tutorial for you guys. I know the pattern's been out for quite a while. Back when I made it, I kind of made all 6 hats and all sizes, yes, at the same time, so I kind of burnt out and never really wanted to get around to making a video tutorial, but I have finally got around to it. I wanted to make Russell his own hat. Isn't it cute? And this is a 6 to 12 month hat. I'm sorry, it is the same size as the Clownfish hat from before. Don't pick your nose on camera. Yeah, hat. It's going to be the same size as before because I wanted to make it for Russie. If you guys want to, there'll be a link below to the actual pattern for the other sizes of this hat. And I hope you guys enjoy this video tutorial. Yeah. Bye. Thank you for watching. So what you're going to need for this project is some worsted weight yarn. I've got blue and yellow, black and white. You can barely see the white. Okay. For most people you'll be using a size H or a 5mm crochet hook. I do a lot of amigurumi, so I tend to crochet tighter. So for me, I use the size I, or 5.5mm, 5.5, however you say it. Feel free to do whatever gives you kind of the right size you're looking for. I'm going to use the I. I also use a yarn needle for hiding my tails or weaving in some of my parts to the hat, and a little yarn scissors. To begin, we're going to go ahead and make a magic ring. I make mine a little bit differently than some people. We're going to go ahead and chain 2. It's not going to count as a double crochet, it's just going to be for height. And then in our little magic ring here, we're going to make 9 double crochets. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My yarn cake wanted to join the party. So 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to double check that that's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, we're going to join with a slip stitch now to our first double crochet, completely ignoring that chain 2, and then tighten our little ring. There we go, so that's our first row. Okay, beautiful. Chain 2. For our next row, we're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochet in each stitch around, and I'm going to start in that same stitch right here as our chain 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So just doing double crochet increases in each stitch. So 2 double crochets in each stitch. Alright, so you should have 18 stitches. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Alright, so we're joining with a slip stitch here to the top of our first double crochet. Chaining 2, and we're going to go ahead and work 2 double crochets in our first stitch, followed by 1 double crochet in our next, 2 double crochets in our next stitch, followed by 1, and working that pattern all the way around. So in our first stitch that we joined with, we're doing 1, 2 double crochets, next stitch 1, Next stitch 2 double crochets, 1, 2, next stitch 1 double crochet, next stitch 2 double crochets, 1, 2, next stitch 1 double crochet, and repeat this all the way around. Join to the top of our first double crochet. We're going to go ahead and chain 2. Alright, so the next row here, we're going to do 2 double crochets in our first stitch, followed by 1 double crochet and 1 double crochet. So then 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, all the way around. So first stitch we're doing 2 double crochets, next stitch gets 1, next stitch gets 1, 2, the little man just sneezed. He's almost asleep. Our next row here, we're going to be joining with a slip stitch to the top of our double crochet, chaining 2, and we're going to go ahead and double crochet twice in the first stitch, and then double crochet once in the next 3. So 2 double crochets, then 1, 1, 1. So our first stitch gets 2 double crochets, followed by 1, 1, and 1, followed by 2 double crochets, 1, 1, and 1, and you repeat that all the way around. So 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Alright, for row 6 we're going to be joining with our slip stitch to the top of the double crochet as usual. Try not to pull up weird loops like I just did there. Chain 2. We're going to start with our 2 double crochets. Oops. This hook's got like a nice little like divot in it, and it keeps pulling up more yarn than it needs to. Alright, so 2 double crochet in our first stitch, and then we're going to go ahead and do a regular double crochet in the next 8 stitches now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sorry, and 8, and then repeating that again. You'll make 2 double crochets in your first, and then double crochet in the next 8 stitches. And repeat that 2 and then 8 double crochets all the way around. Alright, so we're joining with a slip stitch and chaining 2, and the next rows 7 through 13, I'm not going to show you all of them. We'll just meet back when we finish row 13, because for the next, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 7 rows. You're just going to be double crocheting each stitch across, no increases. So just double crochet all the way across for each row, and at the end when you get to 13 rows, don't fasten off but come back and watch what we're gonna do next. We're gonna add our ear flaps, so go ahead and just keep double crocheting rows 7 through 13, and I'll see you at the end of 13. Alright, so we have our 13 rows here. We're just going to join our row with a slip stitch. Alright, to begin our first ear flap, we're going to go ahead and chain 2. I'm just going to kind of rotate. There we go. We're going to half double crochet in the next 10 stitches across, beginning with our join. So 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, now we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. We're going to work our half double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, go ahead and insert our hook into the first stitch. See if we can see this. Yarn over and pull out. I'm not going to yarn over before I go into the next stitch, otherwise we get kind of a bobble effect. But I'll yarn over to pull out. So we should have 4. Normally it would be 5, but it gets to be too thick, so I like to do mine with 4. Then yarn over and pull out of all the stitches. So I'll do that again. Just a little bit easier to not have that big, thick by yarning over too much. So yarn over for your first stitch, yarn over and pull out. Oops, sorry, I just said don't do that, so don't yarn over, go into our next stitch, yarn over, pull out. So we'll have 4 on there, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and half double crochet in the next 6 stitches. We're going to go ahead and make our decrease now. Okay. There we go. We're going to go ahead and chain 2 and turn. Okay, so we're going to make a decrease again. Crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and another decrease. Chain 2 and turn. We'll work another decrease. go ahead and half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Make another decrease at the back. Kind of get the pattern, don't ya? Chain 2 and turn. Now this time we're going to work 2 decreases. And chain 2 and turn and make 1 last decrease. So this is our ear flap. Alright, that's your first ear flap. Go ahead and fasten off, leave a long tail that will go through your braid. And now, so pretending this is our back, here would be our front. You're going to go ahead and skip past, not counting the one that the crochet is in, but you're going to skip past the next 18 stitches. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. In the 19th stitch here we're going to join. I've done a slip knot on my hook. We're going to just join with a slip stitch. We're going to work a chain 2, and then we're going to go ahead and repeat that entire ear flap across. So we'll do 10 half double crochets, and you kind of get the gist, so just repeat this ear flap again. Pretty simple part from here. Don't finish off your second ear flap. We're going to go ahead and work a single crochet row all the way around your hat until you get back to the top of the ear flap. Yes, I hear you. BB's talking. So yeah, just make a single crochet row all the way around your hat. Then you can finish off and make a long tail just like you did with your other ear flap. So we'll meet back after you've done the whole single crochet. Alright, so we've got our single crochet row all the way around. And now we can go ahead and snip our tail, leaving a long tail again for that braid. And finish off. And let's see. So this would be the front of your blue Tang hat. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make our extra pieces now. So now I'm going to work on the eyes for my blue Tang fish. Basically starting off with our black yarn. Go ahead and make a magic circle. Magic ring, sorry. We're going to go ahead and single crochet in here 6 times. Once I get it where I want to, there, I think that'll work. Hear my little one sleeping in the background, I'm sorry. So here's our 6 single crochets. You can't really see very well in the black. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that up. Okay, and we're gonna be joining with a single crochet to the first stitch there. Okay, so I'm just going to cut my tail, and I have very little blue left, so hopefully it will make it through the rest of the project. I'm going to add our blue here. I'm just going to tie it with one, like half a knot on there. Alright, so now you have the blue attached. I'm going to bring it up closer so you can see better. Maybe I should zoom in more here. Does that work better? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around, starting in our first stitch. Hooks always like to shred up the yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets, and 2 single crochets in our last stitch. You should have 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Joining with a slip stitch again to our first single crochet. Go ahead and cut our blue tail. And we're going to add our white now. I hope that was all in frame there. I apologize if I moved the hook out of frame. Shoot. I'll check that, I guess, when I edit it. See if I need to remake that. Alright, so we're going to add our white, and I like to tie my ends together with a half knot. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do 2 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 in the next. So starting with 2, and then 1. Pulling some yarn. I'm going to zoom out a little more so I quit moving it. Alright, 2 single crochets, and then 1, 2 single crochets, and 1, 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of our white single crochet. Alright, go ahead and chain 1 and work 2 single crochets and then single crochet in 2 all the way around. So single crochet, 2 single crochets, then a single crochet and a single crochet. So 2, 1, and 1, 2, 1, and 1. Just repeat this all the way around. And 1, and we're joining to the top with the slip stitch. Alright, leave a long tail for sewing onto our hat. And here are our eyes. Oops, here are our eyes. Woo. So now we're going to work on our tail fin. So we're going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch onto our crochet hook. Okay, you're going to want to chain 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to go ahead and double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So you're skipping those first 2 chains. And you're going to double crochet in the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now you're going to turn your work, and we're going to be working this way down the chain. And we're going to go ahead and work 9 double crochets down this side of the chain. Okay, so kind of start it however you need to start working that way. Alright, sorry, so we've started the first one coming down this side. We're going to go ahead and work 8 more. Just kind of leaving it folded in half here. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and our last one was 8 or 9 on this side, like I said before. Alright, so we're going to fold our work at half again. We're going to join to our first double crochet on the other side there where we started. So you're kind of making like the tip of a tail here. Go ahead and leave this yellow string in the middle or hide it, whatever you want to do with it. Alright, so we're going to chain 2. And we're going to work a double crochet decrease starting in the first stitch as our chain 2. Okay. Then we're going to work double crochets in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and work another double crochet decrease in our corners. Okay, so that's one side of our tail. On our other side, we're going to work the same thing, so we're going to do a double crochet decrease. Alright. Try to hide my tail. Go ahead and double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Our last 2 stitches will get a double crochet decrease. And again we're going to join to the top of our slip stitch. I mean our first sorry, double crochet decrease. Alright, so we're joining with a slip stitch in the first double crochet decrease. It's kind of got the shape of a tail starting. Okay, so go ahead and chain 2. Work another double crochet decrease. Double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Do another double crochet decrease. And turning, we're going to work another double crochet decrease. We're going to go ahead and double crochet the next 3 stitches. Oh goodness, I just grabbed a loop from the other side. And work a double crochet decrease. Without trying to rip up your yarn. There we go. And join to the top of our first double crochet with a slip stitch. Kind of see a shape so far. Alright, our next 2 rounds are just going to be double crocheting around, nothing too fancy. So you should get 5 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10 all the way around. Oops, I went all the way through the back. 1, 2, 4, 5, 'Working this one again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. And we're going to join with a slip stitch to our top of our first double crochet. I'm not going to chain 2. For this last one, we're going to slip stitch in that first stitch again. Okay. We're going to half double crochet in our next stitch. We're going to double crochet in the next stitch. We're going to half double in our next stitch. And we're going to slip stitch in our 5th stitch. So again on the other side, slip stitch our first stitch, half double crochet our second stitch, double crochet our 3rd stitch, half double crochet our 4th stitch, and slip stitch our first stitch. Alright, we're going to fasten off there and leave a long tail for sewing onto your work. So that should be like good right there. Here's our little blue Tang tail for the back of our hat. So laying our hat this way, got a little tail to attach. Now to do the black striping on the edges, I'm gonna go ahead and work single crochets for nice stripe kind of around your edges. So not on the top, sorry, but on your right and left sides and on the bottoms. You'll just work a single crochet row however neatly you can. I think I'm going to start actually down in the middle because I think it'll look better. And I want my single crochets that all face the same way. So I think I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then working down the sides, just do 1 in our first row, just kind of wherever you can fit them in. And then I'm going to do 2 for each double crochet. Oops, bumping my camera. One. Oops. 2. Find good spots in each of them. 3. 4. 5. 6. See, figuring out where I want it here. 7. 7, 8. Oh goodness. Oh, you're making a mess. There we go. And I'm just going to put only one more here on the end, so 9. I don't know why I'm counting. I hope I didn't confuse everybody there. Shoot, let's double check. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 through the last rows. Yeah, don't listen to my counting. I think I just do that sometimes. Alright. So you'll finish that off and leave a little tail to hide. And then I'm going to work around this way, but I'm going to start at the end of my tail so that all my single crochets face the same direction. That's all up to you how you want to do it, but kind of like always having one side neater than the other. So you might have like a little bit of yellow showing on one side, but if you have one side that's perfect, it's okay. Alright, I'm going to join with my single crochet, and I'm going to do single crochets twice in the next few double crochet rows. Just gotta find my spots where I'm going to put it. Make sure I like that. It looks cute. Alright. I keep kind of gravitating off camera. I apologize. I think I'll tilt up just a tad. Hopefully that will fix when I keep going off camera there. Oops. Put one more on the side here. And then we're going to work our last 5 from kind of that other side here, around this edge. Last slip stitch. Alright, and just fasten that off. And you can hide the tail later. Alright, so I'm going to kind of show you what this looks like now. You've got black outlining your edges. It looks a little bit different on one side because you'll see a little bit more yellow. And then when you go and attach it to your hat, you're going to use that little space between the sides and kind of like attach it into the hat a little bit so that it's kind of coming into the hat more. Cute little tail. I don't know if you can tell that, and then you'll have eyes. Have a cute little tail. Alrighty. Now we're going to work on our side fins. Got one done for you here. These are going to go over eye. These are going to go on the side of the fishy hat. Okay, so we're going to work on that now with our blue yarn. You don't want to leave a little bit of a tail. Oh, move all my stuff. Are we focused? Alright. Leave a little bit of a tail. And we're going to make a magic ring. Okay. I'm getting confused how I do my magic rings. Alright, so a little bit of a tail. Leave a magic ring. Okay. Chain 2 and work 6 double crochets in that magic ring. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And kind of leave a little loop here. We're going to pull that big string through the bottom of our magic ring because that's going to be used to attach it onto our hat. So we should have 6. We're going to join with our first double crochet with a slip stitch. Okay, chain 2. So this is what it should look like. We're going to kind of fold it in half, a little circle with our tail at the end for sewing under our hat. So chain 2, 2 double crochet in your first stitch, the same as your slip stitch. Double crochet in our next 2 stitches. And repeat that again. So 2 double crochet in our next stitch. And 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And we're going to join with a slip stitch to our first double crochet up here. Alrighty, we're going to chain 2. We're going to do 2 double crochet in our first stitch. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 2 double crochet in our next stitch. So we're kind of forming the shape of our tail here. Kind of see it's like forming a ridge, so we're going to repeat that on the other side. 2 double crochet. My little yarn cake. See, it's running out of yarn here. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches and 2 double crochet in our last stitch. Alright, perfect. How cute is that? So we're going to go ahead and, while we're joining with our slip stitch, I'm going to go ahead and switch colors to black. So in the middle of the slip stitch I'm doing it this time. Pulling it through. tying my ends together. I cut them a little bit shorter, they don't need to be quite so long. Alright. And so in black here, we're just going to single crochet around all 12 stitches that we have so far. So we're going to chain 1 and go ahead and make 12 single crochets around. So 1, 2, making myself some yarn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then you're going to try to join with a slip stitch to your first single crochet, but again we're going to be switching colors in the middle of it. We're going to be switching to yellow. Keep leaving really long tails. Don't need it quite so long, so adding yellow in the middle of that slip stitch. Tie it with a half knot. Clip off some of the excess. I'm just going to hide it down in here. You can also use your yarn needle if you want to sew it in. I just like to hide it. You don't really see it. Alright, so we're going to chain 2, 2 double crochet in our first single crochet. Alright, we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 double crochet in the next stitch. So you see how we're kind of having that fin shape coming back? I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side too. So 2 double crochet in the first stitch. Work 4 single crochets in the next 4 stitches, or sorry, 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 2, 3, 4, and work 2 double crochet in the last stitch. 1, 2. Here's what I like to do. You can do this how you want. You can either do this with a whip stitch, or I like to join it all with slip stitches, but first I'm going to slip stitch to my first double crochet there because I forgot. Alright, so we're going to join kind of like the end of our fin. And the back loops only of each stitch, I'm going to join the front and the back sides. I don't know if you can see that. The front and the back sides. So this side to this side using the inside loops only with a slip stitch. And I'm going to work that all the way down. So then the next stitch, just working in this back loop here. And I don't know if you'd call it the front loop, but it would be the back loop if we flipped it here. Working a slip stitch together all the way across, or you can whip stitch these together however you guys want to do your fins. I think it looks pretty doing this. So working in my single crochets, oops, not very successful at grabbing them. Okay, my last 2 doubles. There we go. Can you kind of tell the ridges where we've joined on both sides? Go ahead and fasten that off. So here we've got our two little side fins for our project, and then when you sew it on with this long tail that we left. So far, our fishies coming together. This next bit can be a bit tricky, just because I wrote the pattern kind of funky, so if it's hard to follow along, check the pattern down below and see if it's easier to do when reading the pattern. I'll try to hopefully explain it as best as possible. Here's a little stripe that's going to be going. Oops, I should move my tail. I'm gonna go on the top of our blue tang, kind of like that. It looks better once it's sewn on, I promise. Alright, so leaving my mess over there. Alright, so you're gonna leave a tail. I'll actually bring this guy back. We're gonna start with this middle ring. So leave just a tail long enough to kind of sew the middle ring onto your hat when we're done. So I don't need quite too long. This should be about enough. Make our slip stitch and go ahead and attach it to our hook. And we're going to go ahead and chain 25. So chain 25. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then trying not to twist your chains too much. Join them in a ring with a slip stitch to the top, so trying to keep these all facing the same direction as best as you can. I'm going to join with a slip stitch to our first chain, so we got a little ring going on. Okay, now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to work a half double crochet in our first stitch, kind of same as that slip stitch. Try to bring it closer so you can see. We're going to half double crochet in the next 7 stitches around. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In our next chain we're going to work 2 half double crochets. So 1, 2. Now we're going to half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to do 2 half doubles again in our next stitch. 1, 2. Now we're going to half double crochet in the next 7 stitches again. So now we're going to half double crochet in our next 7 stitches again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to single crochet in our next 2 stitches. See the ring kind of forming. We're going to work 2 single crochets in our next stitch. And repeating that again, we're going to work single crochet in our next 2 stitches. And we're going to work 2 single crochets in our last chain here. So it should be 29 stitches around with our long tail for sewing. We're going to join to our first half double crochet up here with a slip stitch. And now from here, so this will be our ring, from here we're going to work our long end of the stripe. So we're going to go ahead and chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, we're going to go ahead and half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So we're skipping first, second chains, going to half double in our 3rd chain from the hook. Kind of try to keep it facing the same way. Alright, we're going to half double crochet in the next 17 stitches, so we're going to half double crochet around this way in the next 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 'Here's that there, and we're going to keep continuing along this edge. Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright, looking like this so far. We're going to go ahead and double crochet in the next 4 stitches here. One, 2, 3, and 4 double crochets. we're going to 2 double crochet in our next stitch. 1, 2, 2 double crochet in our next stitch, 1 and 2, half double crochet in our next stitch, single crochet in our next stitch, oops, so no yarning over, and a slip stitch in our last stitch here. Alright, so you kind of got the peaky going in the corner of the stripe, so you're going to go ahead and turn. That would be the end of that row. We're not going to chain 1, we're going to skip our slip stitch, okay, and we're going to single crochet in our next stitch. We're going to half double crochet in our next stitch. We're going to 2 double crochet in our next stitch, so 1 double crochet and 2. We're going to double crochet in the next 2 stitches, so double crochet, double crochet. Then we're going to go ahead and work 2 double crochets in our next stitch, 1 and 2, and now we're going to finish by half double crocheting all the way to our end. If I counted that right, it should be 22 half double crochets. So my yarn keeps shredding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. And then slip stitch into our end stitch right here. It's kind of like your chain 2 here. Oops, I can do it right. There we go, slip stitch. Alright, here's kind of my shape for my stripe of my blue tang. So here's kind of my shape of my stripe for my blue tang. It's gonna go onto the head, kind of like a curve with the hat. Go ahead and leave a long enough tail so you can sew onto your hat all the way around this piece. I'm gonna leave a little bit longer, like that. And there you go. Now we've got most of our hat done. We've got our tail, our 2 fins. You only attach 1 on each side. Our 2 eyes. I think one's hiding down here. And then our stripey that will go on the side of the hat. Now it's up to you. You can either put your hat together right now and see how everything fits for your top stripe, for like the dorsal fin. You can put it together now and see where you kind of want to sew the dorsal fin. I like to put the dorsal fin on before I put these on so I can kind of try to keep them even. So the dorsal fin, hopefully we have enough blue here. We're going to want to fold our hat in half as best as possible. There's no approximate size on how to do the dorsal fin, so go ahead and change any of this that you want. I'm just going to show you kind of what I did with my hat. So I slip knotted onto my hook. And this is going to be the front of my hat, so where my eyes will be. This is going to be the back of my hat. And I'm going to approximately attach 4 rows from the base of my hat. I'm not going to count this single crochet, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to attach it. Alright, so I'm trying to smush it down as much as possible, flatten it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to attach my hook here, single crochet. And I'm going to single crochet kind of like we did on this tail fin. I'm going to single crochet all the way up. We're going to want to single crochet, it's, let's see, to roughly the 4th row after the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to want to kind of single crochet from your 4th row down here to your 4th row up here. I have 24 stitches on my pattern. Not entirely sure how that will work out since it's been a long time since I wrote the pattern. So hopefully I won't change anything on me. Alright, so just find kind of where you're comfortable adding single crochets. And these are going to be the start of your dorsal fin. I'm trying to go as close to that fold in half ridge as I can. So I've got 4 single crochets, 5, 6. I'm doing approximately 2 per row of single crochets, so 2 per double crochet this way on my single crochet. So I'm at 6. 7. Just find my spots I want to use. 8. Make sure I'm still kind of right around the ridge, so that's in the middle of my hat. Sorry, lost count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. 9, 10, and if this doesn't work for you, feel free to do it however you want. I don't want to force anybody to make this dorsal fin if they don't like it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Stop talking. Alright, so I'm at 12. Got another about 12 to go. 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. In our middle row, or middle ring, I'm just still going to do 2. Just try to find your middle loops here. 19, and 20. 21, 22, 23, and 24. Alright, so I've gotten my 24 stitches. It's not quite as far down as I wanted it to be from the 4th row here, so I'm just going to add 2 more. No harm, no foul. You can make yours as short or long as you want. I think I'm just going to make mine a little bit longer by 2 stitches. Here's where we're going to go ahead and fasten off, because I want my single crochets facing the same direction. It's up to you. You guys can turn around and work the other way down. I want mine to face the same way, so I'm just going to go ahead and join here on the bottom with black. Just to the bottom of my, or just to the first single crochet, I'm just going to join with another single crochet. Alright, and I'm just going to work 1 single crochet in every single crochet all the way up the middle of my dorsal fin. Alright, so we're going to fasten off here. So here is my dorsal fin. It's kind of curling up, so I'm going to pull on it, make it a little bit more pliable, so when you put it on, you see you have a little teeny tiny dorsal fin. How cute is that? And you guys can go ahead and change the dorsal fin to however you want. If it's too small and you want a bigger dorsal fin, I just wanted tiny ones like I saw in some blue Tang pictures. Alright. We'll go ahead and attach the tassels now that my son's still sleeping. Normally I'd do my whole hat first and then do the tassels, but I kind of want to get that taken care of while he's napping here. Before I used to make it in just blue. I don't have a lot of blue left. I'm not sure that I'll make it the whole entire way, so I'm going to do more colors in this one. I think it'll be fun. Or we'll see if the blue can stretch all the way. I'm glad it made it through the hat. So we're going to go ahead and cut about 50 inches. So I'm going to grab a tape measure. You don't even have to do it really 50 inches unless you're doing an adult hat. It seems pretty long for a little kid's hat. So I'm going to go ahead and make it. Let's see, how long do I want my ear flaps? Yeah, that's pretty long. We only have to do about 30 for this. My pattern says 50. It's just general for like everybody. I'm going to make it 30 for my son's hat. Just go ahead and measure out your first strand, and I really only use my tape measure for the first one. Try not to wake him up, sorry. So each braid's going to be 9 strands on each side. We'll see how much my blue gives me, and then I'll figure it out from there. So I'm just going to cut till I run out of blue yarn. 2, 3, 'Nope, we didn't make it. Alright, So I think I'm just going to do 12. So we're going to do 6 and 6, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for our first one. 3, 4, 5, 6 for our second one. And I think I'm going to add yellow. 3 yellow strands to each side just to make it kind of pop. And you can also do it evenly if you want to add 3 and 3 and 3 of black and blue and yellow or all blue like I had in my original patterns. Go ahead and fold them in half. Alright. And the long strings we left before, we're just going to go ahead and braid into our tassels. I like to go right about here past the first row just to give it an anchor. Go ahead and put it on your hook and pull through this hole as best you can on that first row. Okay, grabbing all of our yarn, including the tied on end from the end of our ear flap. I'm going to go ahead and tighten it on the ear. There we go, so we attach the tassels. Split it up how you want, so I'm going to want to go, there should be 18 now. So you'll want about 6 per ear flap. So I'll do 2 yellows and 4 blues for every ear flap. So 2 yellows, 4 blues. Your last row will have 5 blue strands just because we had 1 from the ear flap to begin with. Alright, we're going to go ahead and braid. Our hat. Make it as long as you want. This is going to be for my little guy, so I don't have to go too very long. Trying to keep it even here. Usually I sit on this when I'm working on it. So I sit on that end. And it makes it easier to keep this braid kind of more even. Alright, I think that's about how long I'm going to go on that braid. So I'm going to go ahead and tie my end in a knot. Alright. See if that evened out quite a bit. That looks really pretty with the little yellow stripies in there. I like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut my tassels kind of evenly. Some of them are a little bit short. There we go. So that's that. So yeah, so now all you have left is basically working your tassels on your other side. Okay, and attaching your parts, and I'll show you again how we're going to attach them. Go ahead and add a stripe to this side, and I'd add it a little bit after the blue so you can see the blue before your stripe gets added on there. Put my eyes, oops, don't pull on that, I'm trying to show them. Put my eyes kind of a row up from the bottom. Attach my tail fin in these 2 rows right here. Row up from the bottom again. Attach our middle fin just where it looks cute. Make sure you're attached on the same row as the other side so that they're even. And so I will attach all my stuff, hide my strings, and come back to show you what we're looking like, and we can compare notes. Thank you guys so much for watching this part. We'll come back when we have this all put together. Alright, so here is kind of what our finished fishy's gonna look like with its little dorsal fin, its side stripes, its fins, its tail fin. You can put your eyes closer together, farther apart. I left mine farther apart because I think it's cuter. And that is how I made my blue Tang fish hat You can see on the opposite side there's a little bit more color showing through. But it still looks pretty cute. Ooh, my blue Tang hat. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll have more pictures of Russell rocking the hat after this. Bye!